The afternoon sun caught the curves of the Porsche 911 in our driveway, its custom ballet slipper pink paint shining like a bold flare. I'd spent 3 years saving for that car, Lena's 10th anniversary surprise. We'd clawed our way up from humble beginnings in Crestwood, a suburb of Atlanta, me building a cybersecurity firm from scratch, and Lena grinding her way through med school to become a pediatric neurosurgeon. That $160,000 car wasn't just a gift, it was a symbol of sweat, of dreams, of everything we'd sacrificed. Lena had whispered about that exact model for years. When she saw it, still wearing its bow, after a brutal hospital shift, she cried, made every dollar worth it. For a week, everything felt right. Lena commuted with a smile. Neighbors high-fived us, complimented the car, everyone that is, except the Whitmores. 6 months previously, Lawrence and Cynthia Whitmore had settled into the gargantuan colonial at the street's end. Cynthia, who demanded to be called Cindy, was all designer purses and passive-aggressive comments. Her husband Lawrence, a hedge fund type, was never around, but paid for her taste and that of their daughter Brooke's excesses. My limited interactions with them had consisted of formal nods. At block parties, Cindy's throwaway remarks regarding the neighborhood changing always preceded a look in our direction. We were the sole black couple on the block. Their daughter Brooke, age 18 and newly rejected by the Ivies, pouted around their pool or complained about having to attend a state school. It all came to a head 8 days after the Porsche pulled in. That Tuesday morning, Lena had already brought her SUV to work. I was tightening my tie to go pitch for a client when I saw them. Cindy and Brooke, strutting up the street in pastel tracksuits like it was a catwalk. Both of them set to go to war. "Mr. Marcus Reed," said Cindy, her tone syrupy with fake sweetness. "We have to discuss that vehicle." It was 8:15 in the morning. I didn't have time for this. "Good morning, Cindy. What's the issue?" The civility fell away. "That magenta Porsche is a problem." Brooke moved forward, arms folded. "That's my vehicle. Or it would be." I blinked. "I'm sorry," Cindy interrupted. "Brooke's been whining for a pink Porsche for graduation. We told folks her dad was going to give her one. But there's been a production delay." Brooke scowled. "Now everyone's going to think I copied your wife." I gazed, shocked. Was this for real? "I'm sorry you think that way," I replied calmly. "But Lena's been wanting that car for years. It was an anniversary present." Cindy's eyes narrowed. "Hard to believe someone like you could afford it." My jaw tightened. "Excuse me," she smiled smugly. "Those cars aren't inexpensive. Lawrence talked about it, about Brooke's Porsche, and then you two have the same? In a neighborhood such as this?" "A neighborhood such as what?" I demanded, my voice low. "You know what I mean," she snapped. "This is Crestwood, not where it is you came from. You people—" Brooke interrupted before she could get the words out, complaining, "Make him sell it to me." "It's not right." Cindy moved forward. "We'll pay a high price. It would be a greater loss to Brooke." "Not for sale," I replied curtly. "Lena's a pediatric neurosurgeon. She earned that car, and I have a conference." Brooke's face contorted. She stamped her foot. "Daddy says I get what I want. Nobody's supposed to have a prettier car than me, especially not—" Cindy clamped over her mouth with a glare, but I already knew the insult that was almost spoken. "Leave! Now!" I said. Cindy stood firm. "We're not going anywhere until you sell us that car. And from my perspective, I highly doubt that you got it legally. Perhaps the dealership needs to review." That wasn't a recommendation. It was a threat. Then Brooke lost her cool. She yelled out the insult her mom had almost used, the one designed to incinerate. Our neighbor, Mrs. Lynn, across the street, stood there in mid-hose, having witnessed and overheard the whole scene. I pulled out my phone and pressed record. "Repeat that," I told her. Cindy charged, but I stood back. "You're on my property. You're using slurs. One more move and this goes to the cops and our lawyer." Cindy went white. Brooke screamed, "Pink's my color." "Everyone knows that." They retreated, Cindy grumbling, "Lawrence will take care of this. He'll figure out how you got that car." My hand was trembling as I drove away. I phoned Lena to warn her. She was shocked, but we agreed. We'd drop it. Hope they cooled off. They didn't. The next day, Lena received a note on her SUV at the hospital. This car doesn't belong to you. Sell it or else. She kept it. Suspected the Whitmores. By Friday, Lawrence himself appeared at our driveway, a false smile and a suit all tailored out. "Marcus, let's talk man to man," he said, holding out his hand. I did not shake it. "There is nothing to discuss. You're—" His tone changed. "I have contacts, hospital boards, police, county contracts. It'd be a shame if your business, or Lena's job, came under scrutiny." That was straight-out blackmail. I knew my security cameras were rolling. "Sounds like a threat," I said. He backed off, but it was too late. That evening, Lena brought out her incident log. The note. We called James Carter, a lawyer a colleague suggested. By Monday, Lena had discovered the Porsche's tire was slashed. Lipstick on the driver's door. Pink as Brooks. The police shrugged. Probably kids. Insurance took their sweet time. The body shop delayed repairs. My prize client dumped me. Lawrence's pull. Lena received an anonymous complaint at work. They were attempting to bury us, but we were not going down. Then came the bombshell. A tow truck drove up onto our driveway. Two men came up with a court order. Whitmore v. Reed. It stated the Porsche was being seized in a civil matter. "We've never been sued," I said. The order was signed by Judge Harold Grayson, a name Lawrence had mentioned casually. Lena, off on a day off, grabbed the papers. "You are not driving my car." I phoned James. He instructed us to warn the tow crew they'd be responsible for an illegal seizure. Then Cindy and Brooke appeared, waving a copy of the same order. Cindy sneered. "The judge agrees. You pinched our idea. It's ours now." "Fraud," I hissed. "We have receipts, records." "Judge disagrees," Cindy shrugged smugly. "It's impounded until the hearing." The lead tow guy, Mike, was visibly nervous. James drove up just in time, verified that the order was indeed an ex parte, one filed without warning us, but legally binding at the moment. Lena approached Cindy. "You think intimidation and friends in authority will do it?" "I rescue children with cancer. This battle is far from over." Brooke, on the other hand, took selfies in front of the car. "Pink's my color," James explained. It was impounded, not hers. But Cindy leaned over to Brooke and whispered, "Soon it will be." That evening, our dining room became a legal war room. James hired a PI, Elena Martinez, to investigate the Whitmores and Grayson. We assembled all of it: the receipt for the purchase, video footage, Mrs. Lynn's testimony, witness accounts, even affidavits from neighbors who'd overheard Cindy's racist comments. Dr. Shaw at Lena's hospital informed us his wife, a legal assistant to the Whitmore's firm, had witnessed backdated Porsche documents. Bogus ones. Theirs was ordered after ours. Grayson and Lawrence were golfing partners. Their children worked together. Cindy had utilized hospital donations to attack Lena. We had a hearing with Judge Maria Torres by Thursday, reputed to despise playing legal games. The night before, Dr. Shaw's wife sent James emails, proof of collusion, and documentation that we'd placed our Porsche order first. She filed a whistleblower report. In court, the Whitmores strutted in. Brooke wore pink. Judge Torres was ice. She grilled their lawyer, Mr. Bennett, about the bogus order. "Where's the evidence they stole this idea?" she asked. He fumbled. "It's the Whitmore's word." James plotted our timeline. The receipts. The backdated lies. Torres didn't just leave the seizure. She issued a restraining order on the Whitmores. "You've weaponized the courts," she said to Cindy. Cindy scoffed. "Do you know who my husband is?" Torres cut her down. "In my courtroom, the law decides, not your last name." She referred the case for criminal and ethics probes. The Porsche came home for lunch. But the Whitmore's horror had just started. Our $1.2 million defamation and harassment lawsuit went viral. Mrs. Lynn appeared on TV, revealing their racism. Brooke's blog tantrum, "Pink is my color, not theirs," blew up in her face. Judge Grayson was suspended. Investigations were initiated. Federal agents stormed Lawrence's office. Discovered money laundering, tax evasion. His empire fell. The Whitmores were driven out of Crestwood, reduced to a condo as assets froze. They settled with us for $750,000 in a public apology admitting racial bias. Lena still drives her Porsche every morning, and Brooke still doesn't have one.